You don't have to haggle, and you'll get top dollar for your trade. Our finance team's ready to help, even when others can't. No matter where you are, buying a new car has never been easier than at Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear and at MikeBirchFord.com. Right on the corner, right on the price. Stop the search. Call Mike Birch.
At Broadhurst Landfill, keeping our communities safe is the most important thing we do. Our local team of environmental managers, engineers, and scientists ensure that the long-term management of the landfill is safe for our workers, customers, and the environment. To learn more, visit our website at www.broadhurstlandfill.com. Or you can go to the website, click Visit Us, and sign up for a tour to see firsthand how we operate. We hope to see you soon.
Jessup Premium Storage, 1455 South 1st Street is Jessup's best place to store your valuables. Whether it's furniture between moves or just a place for the overload, call Jessup Premium Storage at 530-8003. That's 530-8003. Jessup Premium Storage units are indoors, climate controlled, and they have 24-hour surveillance and on-site management. You have 24-hour, 7-day-a-week access to your unit. Sizes range from 5x5 to 10x25. They also have outside covered and uncovered spaces available for vehicles, boats, trailers, and RVs. Jessup Premium Storage on the Waycross Highway in Jessup.
Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jessup. Good morning, Butch Hubbard here with you. It is the 4th day of December, just 20 days away from Christmas Eve. Right now, we're looking for right now we got a temperature of 54 degrees. We're looking for a high today of around 72 degrees with partly sunny skies. The autumn harbor levels at 3.7 feet and just barely falling. Bob, was coming in this morning, there was lots of fog. Did you see any downtown when you were coming in?
It's been foggy the last couple of mornings, but, clears up quickly.
Yeah, it clears up quickly. I came in early this morning down Highway 203 from Kayville and had to have the fog lights on. Could not put the high beams on because you know how when you do that in fog, you just like you're looking into a mirror there. But hopefully everybody made it this morning. Just please drive carefully when you've got the fog out there. Slow down and watch for the other folks and make sure that your lights are on. It still amazes me how many people drive in that fog with no lights on. And, no one can see them. Turn them lights on. Most vehicles these days, if you put your little dial on there, they automatically come on. Your running lights are on, when say running lights will be on. And, you can be seen, but some people turn that off. They don't want their lights on until they want them on. So just, when it's foggy out there, please drive carefully, slow down, watch out for the other folks, especially folks from pulling out from side roads and have them have the lights on. And it'll help out, because, man, it was foggy this morning. Well, there was the super moon this morning, Bob. Did you get to see it? The closest that the moon will be here to Earth in 2017 was this morning. So if you were somewhere without the fog, in a clearing area where you could see the moon come up, it was the closest it would be to the Earth this year. Of course, this year's almost over. With the fog we had this morning, that might have been difficult to see. Might have to be on the beach or something like that. But they call it a super moon because it's the biggest the moon will look all year long when it's the closest to the Earth. But it hasn't been a beautiful moon the last few nights out there. Just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous moon for the last few nights. So I guess we'll find out next year when it'll be the closest. It just kind of rotates around. And, of course, the big news over the weekend was Georgia defeating Auburn. Georgia, as we were talking about the other day, that Georgia would more than likely like to see Auburn again instead of Alabama because it's difficult for a team to beat the same team twice in a year, right?
Well, they just flipped the script. Like I said, Auburn had all the breaks go their way when we played them over there, and Georgia got the breaks in this ball game. Like I said, Auburn fumbled the ball. Auburn didn't play well, plus Kerryon Johnson definitely wasn't 100%, so that helped. But Georgia, after that opening possession by Auburn, just pretty much took over the ball game and played a very physical football game. But plus, it was a neutral site for really a home crowd for Georgia. Man, the place was rocking for Georgia from the get-go. Beautiful stadium. Had great, it's nice to finally see that stadium, but it's It is a very nice stadium.
Did you like it there? The Mercedes-Benz, was it good? Enjoy it?
I liked it once I got inside. It just took forever to get inside. I mean, they had the security, and everybody was going to the metal detector and having to empty the pockets. I didn't think I'd ever get in the stadium before kickoff. So,
well, that's the same way going to a Jacksonville game. If you go to the regular area, you got like 3 sets of security that you go through there to get inside to a Jags game. Of course, years ago before 9/11, that didn't happen. But now it happens.
I didn't see any empty seats, so that's for sure. That place was packed. And it's a very nice stadium. Nice place to watch a football game.
Okay, good. Roof open or closed?
Closed. I heard they're having trouble with that, but they would open it yet.
Still having trouble with that thing, huh?
It's supposed to be a retractable roof, but apparently they haven't worked out the kinks yet, so it hasn't been retracted as of yet.
All right. So Georgia wins big over Auburn. Auburn's front line there, their front 4 or 5 really dominated our offensive line the last time that we played, but this time it didn't happen. We were able to move them a little bit, got a little running game going there.
They did exactly what they said they're going to do all week. They weren't going to run at them. They're going to run around them. They went to the edge. So
went to the edge.
I said Georgia just made the proper adjustments. Kirby said it best. They knew what to expect the second time around. First time around, they just weren't prepared. So just an excellent adjustment by the coaching staff. It's hard to beat a team twice, but that's only the second time there's been a rematch in the SEC championship games of the regular season. Georgia, only the second team to be able to knock off the team for the second time. Normally the team that wins the first game has won the second game, but the second time in the history of the SEC, Georgia able to turn the table on Auburn and win the game. So
ranked number 3 and be taking on number 2 Oklahoma, right?
Right. Going to the Rose Bowl. The first time since back in the Frankie Sinquish days.
Wow. What date is that on, do you know?
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day.
It's 5 o'clock our time, 2 o'clock California time.
Okay. And then, of course, Clemson and Alabama playing. Are they playing the same day?
They play in the Sugar Bowl that night.
That night.
Those are 2 games for the semifinals and the championship games in Atlanta.
The following week?
I think it's 2 weeks from
2 weeks?
I'm not sure.
Wow. Okay. Well, spread that thing out.
I haven't got the date on the championship game. So, to want to mention this, Stetson Bennett from Pierce County, Georgia gave out their awards. He got the Offensive Scout Team Player of the Year. So,
good.
Congrats to Stetson Bennett on that award at the Georgia banquet. So, they give out all their awards at the end of the year. So, nice award for Stetson Bennett, walk-on quarterback at Georgia. Kirby Smart's bragged on him all season long, but he won the Offensive Scout Team Player of the Year. So, our congrats to him.
Okay.
But the big debate, we said it was going to take place all weekend if Ohio State beat Wisconsin. Who was going to get in, Ohio State or Alabama? I stuck to my guns. I said Alabama would get in on resume alone, Nick Saban alone. Nick Saban pleaded his case. It was funny, midnight on Saturday after all the games had been played, Scott Van Pelt has a live show on ESPN, and Nick Saban called in at 12 midnight to plead his case for Alabama.
Oh, did he?
And doesn't normally give the media the time of day, but he was pleading his case because he wasn't in his position of strength. He had to plead that Alabama was better, and he did a good job of pleading his case. But the committee, like I said, nobody could deny the fact that Ohio State got blown out by an unranked Iowa team.
Yeah, that was their downfall. They're getting blown out by Iowa.
The staff that really, I listened to all kind of talk shows after the games, leading up to the selection show on Sunday. The staff that really stuck out, Ohio State lost 2 games this year by a total of 46 points.
Wow.
In the last 5 years, Alabama's lost 5 games by a total of 26 points combined.
Okay. So Alabama presented his case. It was number 1 all year long practically. Lost that game to Auburn.
Lost their rival game, hostile environment.
Yeah. And so the national championship game is going to be on January 8th, Bob. January 8th at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta.
So that's a week after the
week after. Yep. So January 8th.
Just 1 week.
In Atlanta.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Georgia could be back there again.
Right. That's the hope.
Yeah, well, what do we know about Oklahoma?
They got the best quarterback in America.
Oh, they do, huh?
Heisman Trophy winner this year. I mean, he's going to win the Heisman Trophy in a couple of weeks. And
what's his name again?
Baker Mayfield.
Okay, Baker Mayfield.
Very talented quarterback. Oklahoma scores a lot of points. Hopefully Georgia defense can slow them down. I don't think Oklahoma's going to see a better defense than they've seen.
No, we got a great defense,
Roquan Smith took home the Dick Buckus Award for the best linebacker in the country. Congrats to him over the weekend, so that was a big honor. Plus, he won MVP of that SEC championship game, had a great game, so he was all over the field. So, number 3, Roquan Smith wins the MVP, also wins the Buckus Award over the weekend for best linebacker in the country. First time a Georgia linebacker has ever won the Dick Buckus Award.
Oh, wow.
Quite an honor.
That is an honor. That is a big honor right there. So congratulations to the Dogs. I know when we were getting ready for the parade in downtown Jessup, which was absolutely a fantastic parade that started at 7, ended just a little after 8 o'clock, that people were keeping up with the Georgia-Auburn SEC championship game there, some of them on their smartphones. I know my son Matt had a small, probably about a 15-inch flat screen TV in the back of his pickup with his satellite receiver. And so he was actually picking up on a bigger screen than a smartphone. And there's a lot of folks around the back of his truck there as he had the kitchen tune-up trailer behind it.
Yeah, I was at the game, and I kind of looked at my watch. And I think it was 13-7 by the time the parade was about to begin. I said, who in the world was watching this game 9 times?
There's a bunch of them. I know that Ralph Hickox on his little red car had his smartphone sitting right there on his dash with the game playing. Like I said, Matt had it on his TV with his satellite dish receiver there in the back of his pickup. And so people were keeping up with the game in any way they can. And folks who didn't have all that, would walk by somewhere, what's the score? And everybody was just as happy as I don't know what. The game got over right before the end of the parade. And so they were able to announce it a little bit before the end of the parade, the final score up there on the stage.
It's a nice win for the Dogs. I said, second year, Kirby Smart, freshman quarterback. I thought Jake Fromm played an excellent ball game. Threw the ball extremely well. I think he had maybe one bad throw all game. So defense came to play. I said, but Auburn turned it over. Auburn made the mistakes. It's just flipped the script. But, it was a neutral site, they say, but, it was, it looked 50, but Georgia crowd just seemed to be more into the ball game.
Just seemed to be more into it. Okay. You think maybe Auburn came in just maybe a little cocky after beating Georgia so much like they did and beating Alabama like they did?
No, they just came in banged up.
You
could tell Kerryon Johnson was not 100%. Plus their quarterback. In the first game, the quarterback would do a lot of direct snaps and try to run into Georgia's line and got a lot of yardage. But he really didn't have that play in that game. For some reason, he didn't use it. They just kept on trying to, he was carried on, but Kerryon just didn't seem to be 100%. Plus, he fumbled the ball, which was unusual. Just don't know how serious that shoulder injury was. There's a lot of speculation he wouldn't play at all. The Vegas line really was shocking. It came out early. Georgia was a 3-point underdog. By the time the game kicked off, Georgia was a 2-point favorite.
So, oh, wow.
As they say, somebody in Vegas knew something that we don't know. It just seems funny that Georgia was a favorite to kick. Everybody was shaking their head. How's Georgia favored in this game when Auburn just dominated them the first time they played?
So what about the way Clemson dominated Miami?
Clemson's just a very good football team. I mean, Dabo Swinney's got that program rolling. They talked about him last night. He's probably one of the premier coaches, and they don't give him as much credit, but he's an amazing story, Lived in his car with his mother for quite some time. Got a job as a coach under Gene Stallings in Alabama. Never became a coordinator. When he got the job at Clemson, it was under a lot of controversy. But they stuck to their guns, and he's turned that program into one of the premier programs in the country. Won the national championship last year, and is ranked number 1 this year.
So with the new quarterback, they thought with the quarterback leaving last year that perhaps that would hurt quite a bit, but they're still moving the ball.
They haven't missed a beat, but that'll be a great match. I think Alabama, Clemson. It's funny that odds makers already have Alabama listed as a favorite in that.
Oh, they do?
Right.
Oh, wow.
Alabama's favored by a point or a point and a half. So everybody argues about Alabama not being one of the best teams. Well, they're ranked 4th and they're favored over at Clemson in this game.
Which is ranked 1.
That tells you what people think about how good Alabama is.
And also
not happy, but like I said, the 2 losses against one, the 30-point loss at Iowa, plus State lost at home in Oklahoma. They didn't stress that, Ohio State was the only team that wasn't being considered that lost at home. I know they lost to Oklahoma, but, Georgia didn't lose a home game. Alabama didn't lose a home game. Clemson didn't lose a home game. Oklahoma didn't lose a home game. Ohio State had lost at home, plus they got blown out by Iowa, which was unranked. So that's what kept them out.
Yeah, I think that game right there was really what hurt them bad.
I thought the committee made the right choice, and plus Ohio State didn't look very impressive in the game against Wisconsin. Wisconsin had a chance to win the game at the end. Had the ball with about 3 minutes to go. If they scored, they would have beat them 20-27. But Ohio State's defense stepped up and got the interception, did in the game. But as Kirby Smart, who's the Ohio State quarterback, said all weekend, they just didn't look impressive and didn't look like the better team than Alabama. Alabama definitely was the better team. So.
Okay. Well, we can stop some of this argument by the committee going to 8 teams. Hopefully that will happen sometime in the near future.
It's not going to happen anytime soon.
But who knows?
They said they liked the 4 teams.
They like the 4 teams and all the controversy.
They liked all the controversy. My goodness. And what were those talk shows? I was driving back from Atlanta, and I was thinking, what are all these talk shows talking about if they're not talking about all this controversy with 4 teams instead of 8? Because if there's 8 teams...
Well, they'll be talking about 9, 10, 11, and 12 is what they'll be talking about. But 8 teams would, I think, really get it in there. But... I don't know when.
Mac Brown suggested 6 teams and have the first 2 teams get a bye the first weekend. So they may do that, but
heaven knows. We'll find out. But just glad to see that Georgia's in there in the Final 4, ranked 3rd in the nation right now, taking on number 2 Oklahoma on New Year's Day afternoon. Looking forward to that game and seeing what the Dogs can do against the Sooners out there.
It's amazing. These 2 historic programs have never played each other.
Never played, huh?
This will be the first meeting ever between Oklahoma and Georgia.
Wow. Way out there in the Rose Bowl, too, out on the West Coast.
A lot of people making their plans to go out there.
I'm sure there's a lot of Georgia fans already booking and hotels and flights and everything else, and probably getting out there early to maybe see Disneyland and some of the other sites that you can see out there in the L.A. area.
Get to see the Rose Bowl parade.
Yeah, true. Rose Bowl parade's always great. That's a beautiful parade.
Georgia bands in there, and a lot of parents and band members are excited about going out there and seeing their sons and daughters in the Rose Bowl parade. So that should be a great game.
That should be.
I think Oklahoma's favored by 2 points at the moment or something like that.
Okay. Well, as you mentioned, in local news is the first week of the month. Several meetings going on this week. What's happening tonight, tomorrow night?
The county meets tonight. The big worry is how much they're going to go up on that tax anticipation note, which I hate to see. We talked about this for many years, have had many discussions with commissioners. It's not a good financial situation. We have to borrow money to start the year, but they've been doing it for the last eons. They dwindled it from 5.5 down to 4.5, but I think they got down all the way to 4, and they had to go up $500,000 last year because of a county administrator who didn't know how to do a budget. So we well publicized that story.
Yeah.
But now they're talking about going up almost $2 million up to $6 million
to borrow that much money until all the money comes in, huh? All right.
So that's not a good sign. It's like a household. If you had to borrow that much money to keep your house running, it's not. It's just sad to see the county in this bad financial shape. It's not. The school board doesn't borrow money. The city doesn't borrow money. Odom and Scrivener doesn't borrow money. Why the county has to borrow $6 million, $5 million to make ends meet?
So we know what happened for a long time there with different devaluations of lands and lawsuits and all that. But you're hoping by now, with all that behind us, and with the tax bills getting out on time now, and taxes were due in November, that they would they'd have more money in right now.
Thank goodness we voted this lost in. Could you imagine this lost in?
Sheesh, we'd be in big trouble.
It's going to be an interesting discussion tonight, because I know there's difference of opinions on this, but it's just not a good trend. That seems to be the word on the street, that the county's in worse financial shape than the new administrator thought it was when he took over, and to try to get on good footing, they're trying to borrow even more money to try to go from there.
You say Ed's sitting there at his desk in his office, pulling his hair, saying, "What's going on here?"
I don't think he thought it was as bad as it was, but once he got in there, he realizes it's, I think it's a worse situation than what he thought it was. That's just the word I hear. That's the proposal, is to go up even more on the tax anticipation note to start the fiscal year.
How did the Jaguars and Falcons do yesterday?
Jaguars won easily at home. The Jaguars are still tied for first place. Falcons lost a tough one at home to the Vikings, but the Vikings, they seem to be the Cinderella story this year. Casey Keenum, the quarterback, everybody keeps trying to say he's not a legit quarterback, but he continues to win ball games. But they got an excellent defense. Mike Zimmer's their coach. Used to be defense coordinator in Dallas when Dion and company were there. Dion and them brag about what a great coach he is, but he's done a good job with the Vikings. But the Vikings continue to win. Falcons are still in, I think they're still in good shape to get a playoff spot. Still got a chance to win the division, but tough to lose at home. But they lost.
Saints, I understand by now, first in the division since the Panthers and the Falcons lost yesterday. So
it's just one game.
Yeah, it's just one game. Still a lot more games to go. Lots of more football.
Just hate losing at home. Those are the games you expect to win. Good to see the Jaguars finally winning at home. Something they haven't been able to do all year, but they've won the last two now at home. And they're still tied for first in the division with Tennessee. So Jaguars still talking playoffs. And it'd be nice to see a playoff game in Jacksonville. I haven't seen one down there in quite some time. But the defense for Jacksonville continues to shine. Bortles, up and down. One day he plays well, one day doesn't. They still question. I still wonder if Coughlin's on the phone to Eli Manning. Eli being kicked out of New York. So
Monday Night Football, who's playing?
My Steelers.
Your Steelers and?
Cincinnati Bungles.
And where's it going to be held?
It's at Cincinnati.
At Cincinnati.
At Cincinnati.
The Bungles, huh?
That's what I call them. Those Steelers.
Well, once again, want to congratulate Hallie Graham and all the committee for the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade. Absolutely fantastic parade. Congratulations to the post office for winning the top award and all the other folks that won, and just everybody who put entries in there. Everybody's a winner because it was just a great parade, and just hats off to all those folks who put so much time and effort into it and the entries into the parade. Thousands of people lined up along West Cherry Street and South First Street. Bob, it was a fantastic parade. All right, anything else? That's it. All right, have a good day. All right, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. World famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, located on Northeast Broad Street in downtown Jessup, just down from the Big Red Caboose. By Republic Services, also by Jessup Premium Storage out here in the Waycross.